Hello, it's good to see you. Today we are going to be making something a little weird. It's a recipe that I just saw yesterday and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I thought that is just the craziest recipe I've heard of in a while. I gotta make it. I gotta try it. So today we are going to be making pickle cupcakes. Cupcakes with pickle and pickle juice in them. I know, it sounds crazy, it sounds kind of yucky. Actually, when I was pregnant with my second son, I probably would have thought it was great because I crave some crazy stuff with him. I probably would have said, ooh, that does sound good. But it looks pretty simple. I found this recipe on Delish, and I'm going to I'll put a link to it in the recipe, I'll put a link to it in the description. And yeah, so it does. It calls for pickles. You have to cube up some pickles. So I got a fresh jar of Mount Olive kosher dill spears made with sea salt. So you're going to have to take pickles and cube them up. I'm not sure how small. And then for garnish on top of the cupcakes, you're going to put dill chips. So I got a fresh container of Mount Olive dill chips, hamburger dill chips, also made with sea salt. So you just stick a little chip into the icing on top of the cupcake. So what does this recipe call for other than pickles? Well, you need flour. You also are going to need baking powder. There's no mix for this. Like, you're not going to get like just a regular thing of cake mix or whatever. This is going to be made from scratch, which making cupcakes from scratch, it sounds hard. It's really not. Flour, baking powder, you need some salt, you need a half a cup of butter softened, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of sour cream, and I just got some Great Value original sour cream, 2 eggs, which I have here, my little eggs. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of pickle juice. Now all this is for the cupcakes and not the icing. And a 1/4 cup of chopped pickles. This is going to make 12 cupcakes. And then for the frosting, you need another half a cup of butter softened, 8 ounces of cream cheese softened, and I just got this is just the Great Value cream cheese, and it's just, you're going to need a whole 8-ounce brick of that for the icing. 2 cups of powdered sugar. I had some powdered sugar, but I wasn't sure if I had 2 cups. So while I was at the store, I just went ahead and grabbed another bag of powdered sugar. This is 2 pounds. I'm pretty sure we have plenty of Great Value Confectioner's powdered sugar. It doesn't matter what kind you use. Now this next ingredient I actually had to go to the liquor store to get, and I'm going to I actually got some video inside there, and I'm going to do a walkthrough of that at some point soon. You're going to need 3 tablespoons of bourbon, and I just got a little sampler of Wild Turkey. I figured that'll work. We need 3 tablespoons of that, a pinch of salt, and then of course you're going to need your pickle slices for the garnish. So, I mean, I'll try anything once. I can honestly say I've never had pickle cupcakes. But today we are going to make them, and I even found some green cupcake liners because the picture in the recipe had the cupcakes in little green cupcake cups, little liners, and I was proud of myself because I found some green ones. So it's gonna be a good day. I actually found it, and it doesn't call for this, but I went ahead and got this Wilton cake decorating set for the icing, and it comes with different types of tips here, so you can make it fancy if you want to. Just sort of sploop your icing on there in a fancy way instead of just smacking it on there with a butter knife like I normally do. Yes, so let's make some pickle cupcakes. Now the first step you want to do in this process is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and take your little pan here. Make sure you have enough spaces for 12, and you might have to use 2. And you want to place little cupcake liners in every spot. Okay, now we can set this aside, and since we're using the liners, we don't have to use any spray or butter or anything because we're just going to bake them right in these liners here. For the next step, we're going to need a medium bowl. Before we get into that, I have to show you my bowls. Look at these pretty things. I found them at an antique store, but they're not really antiques. We have this large one here, and then we have 3 smaller ones. So we're going to be using one of these bowls today. It says that the first thing you need to do is take a medium bowl. So let's just try the green one. Now in this bowl, we're going to whisk together the flour, which I have right here, the baking powder, and the salt. So it's just these 3 ingredients to start, and we're just going to whisk them together. There's our flour, baking powder, and our salt. I'm going to get a whisk. Just going to whisk them together. Okay, we're going to set this bowl aside for right now and start this next step with a large bowl. Now in this bowl, we're going to add the butter and sugar. I have my softened, unsalted butter here. You're going to need 1/2 cup, which is this whole thing, isn't it? I just want to confirm. Yes, it's 8 tablespoons. And it is softened. There's our butter and our sugar. Okay. Now I'm going to go use my electric mixer, and I'm going to mix this together, and then we will come back for the next step. Okay, there we have our butter and sugar. The next thing we're going to do is add our 2 eggs to it. Bloop, bloop. Just like that. And now I'm going to beat this together until it is combined. Okay, we have combined our 2 eggs with the butter and sugar. So far it's looking like a pretty normal cupcake recipe. But now is the step where it starts to get a little bit weird. We're going to add in the sour cream. That's not so weird. That's pretty normal. I've used sour cream in cakes before. That's not strange. Here's our sour cream. Okay. There's that. Looking good so far, but now it takes a turn. We can't turn back after this. This is our pickle juice. It just seems so wrong. All right, I'm going to now blend this together. Okay, I have now mixed everything together. It smells really weird. It smells like pickles. So then we're going to take this mixture that we did initially. We're going to add that, and we're going to mix it until it's just combined. Like that. So I'm going to go mix this together. Actually, I missed this part. The chopped pickles also go in at this point. I don't think I'm going to use the mixer for this because it says to mix until just combined. So I'm just going to do this. I don't want to get too crazy with it. It says to mix it until just combined. That is a weird little mix. Okay. It is just combined. Now, we are now going to scoop about 1/4 cup of this mixture into the little cups right here. Now, I am not good at this. I'll just tell you that now. It says to put about 1/4 cup into each one. I'm not very good at estimating that kind of thing. But, I mean, keep in mind, they are pickle cupcakes. So, I don't know that we need to get too picky about it. So, it is an odd combination of stuff. I wonder who came up with this idea. I bet it was somebody who was pregnant. Or somebody that really likes pickles. Because, you know, I like pickles and I like cupcakes. I don't know about the two together. That may be a bit much, but we're going to find out. I didn't get quite enough in that one. Okay. Scooping it up. Well, that flour really thickened it up nicely. I'm scooping up some extra. Okay. Now, we are going to now bake these at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes and then let them cool completely. Here we have our cupcakes all baked and they smell oddly delicious, I'll be honest. Now we do have to let these cool completely before we ice them. There's a little bit of pickle right there. But while these cool, we're going to go ahead and start on the frosting, but it's kind of hard to see, but they have a slight greenish tint to them. It's very faint. I guess maybe it's more of a yellow, but a yellowish greenish color. But I'm going to put these on a rack. I'm going to take these out of here like this. And I'm just going to set them on a wire rack so they can cool a little faster. And we'll get started on the frosting. Okay, the next step is the frosting, and I've cleaned this bowl here. And the first step for this icing or frosting or whatever you want to call it, we use frosting and icing interchangeably around here where I live. You're going to take 1/2 cup of softened butter, which I have here, and put it in here with your 8 ounces of cream cheese, and that's going to be mixed together. and our cream cheese. And there we have our 8-ounce brick of softened cream cheese. There. I'm going to go use my electric mixer, and we're going to mix these together, and then we'll come back. Okay, there we have our butter and cream cheese all blended together. And it is at this point that we want to add our confectioner's sugar. We have 2 cups of that. I'm going to add that in. And we want to add in our 3 tablespoons of bourbon. Lovely. Right there. Ooh. Oh, that smells like way too many Friday nights in college. And a pinch of salt. Oh, Lord, that smell brings back memories I have not thought about in years. Okay. I'm going to go mix this together until it is smooth and try to forget about that bourbon. Oh, here we have our beautiful frosting. Look at it. Yes. All right. Our next step after the cupcakes cool completely is that I'm going to put some of this in a little bag with the tip on it, and we're going to add this pretty frosting to our pickle cupcakes. I now have my cupcakes all nice and cooled. I have 6 here and 6 here. Look how pretty. They kind of look like cornbread a little bit, but they're not. I have placed some of the icing in this little bag. I'm not very good at doing that, but I'm probably going to get it all over myself, which is, I'm not worried about it. So I'm just going to put some icing on here somehow or another. I'm not super good at this kind of thing. Oops. I am not a baker, I am a paralegal. If you need help with a patent, I can help you. If you need to bake a cake, you might want to call somebody else. I don't want to put a ton of icing on here. I don't like a lot of icing on my cupcakes, but we're going to festoon our pickle cupcakes, which just sounds so crazy. That one looks all drunk now that I look at it. Okay. I think this was the largest cupcake. I think I had the most in this one. Okay, there we have 6. We're going to decorate these things with pickles in a minute. Now I have to say, I did taste a little bitty bit of this icing. I did, because I was so curious, and I had to try it. Well, I didn't have, I was pessimistic about it. I thought, I don't know that I'm going to like that bourbon in there. But I have to say, it definitely adds something to the flavor. It almost has like this finish. I thought I would have enough to do all. I'm going to refill this bag and we'll get this last one. Okay, I've added some more. I had a lot of icing left over. I may add a little bit more to each of these because I have quite a bit here. Trying to use it up so I don't sit down in a chair and just eat it with a spoon, which I probably could because it's actually quite yummy. Okay, we'll add a little bit more to some of these. Okay. Now we get to decorate our cupcakes with pickles. I have one for each cupcake, and I patted them dry a little bit. We're just going to tuck a little pickle slice down into the icing. Like that. There. I tried to get them as dry as possible, the pickle slices. And I tried to select pretty slices to go on there. Okay. Oh my goodness. Aren't they cute? Look at these little things. Okay. I think I'm more excited about trying these than anything we've done in a little bit. So let's try one of these. I have to say, this was a fun little recipe to do. Look at these. Look at them. Oh my gosh. They smell good. It's a strange combination of smells. My brain does not know what to think of these. Does not know what to think of these cupcakes. Because they smell like pickles and bourbon and cupcakes. They smell like cake, pickles, and bourbon. It's so weird. But like I said, I did taste a little bit of the icing because I was so curious about it. Because I thought, I kind of regretted it at first. I thought, before I tasted it, I thought, I really wish I hadn't put the bourbon in there. I wish I had just used a bit of vanilla or something. But there's something kind of neat about the bourbon in here. From I just tasted a little bit. There's like, you don't taste the bourbon right away. It's sweet. It has an interesting mix of flavors. The bourbon is almost like an after effect. It's kind of like after you've kind of tasted everything else, there's a hint of something, and it's that bourbon. And it's really cool, but it's not overpowering. It's not crazy strong. So I'm kind of curious to see what that tastes like with the cake added to it. So I'm going to take one of these here. Got this cute little cupcake here. I'm so proud of myself for finding the green cupcake papers. I don't know. Yeah, so let's peel it away. Well, it's really stuck to that paper. Wow. Oops. I'm gonna go ahead and take this pickle out and get it out of the way. I've been eating pickles all afternoon. Probably shouldn't have eaten that right before eating this. But I'm gonna just peel the paper back here a little bit, and I'm gonna give it a taste. It kind of stuck to the paper a little bit, but I think it's okay. First impression is sweetness. I don't really taste the bourbon in the icing as much when I try it with the cake. The sweetness of the cake, there it is. It comes along after the fact. It's really interesting. I don't taste the bourbon as much, which I was glad about. I was afraid the bourbon was going to be a little bit too much. But it's yummy. You see, it's a pretty cake. And every now and then you're going to run across a piece of pickle in there, here and there. It didn't say how small to cut the pieces of pickle. I just kind of cut them until I got tired of it. They're not all uniform sizes or anything. Pickle. I like it. I do. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, it is pickle flavored, which sounds weird and kind of gross. It's not. It's really not. That's good. And this icing is perfect for it. It is perfect because the cake itself is not super sweet. I mean, it is a little sweet, but it's not super sweet. The icing is the perfect match to this cupcake. I mean, I guess you could do more or less icing depending on how much icing you like. I don't have a ton on here. I mean, I do have some, but not like, you know, some cupcakes have tons of icing, and these really don't. So, I do. I like them. I think they're good. Yeah, these are good. I need a napkin. Wow. These are fantastic. These are so good. I know it sounds weird, but these little doodahs right here, they're wonderful. They're actually really yummy. Really yummy. I would totally make these again. I would. So, my overall impression, I like it. I really do. I just took another bite and I got a little bit more icing with that bite, and I could taste the bourbon more right there. So, if you don't like a bourbon flavor, I mean, it's there. If you don't like it, you could always substitute something for it. I mean, I would probably just add some vanilla to it or something. You know, not, you know, you don't put 3 tablespoons of vanilla in there, but I would just use a little bit of vanilla instead of bourbon. It's not bad though. My brain is so confused though. Look at it. It's not, it doesn't look as green in here. Maybe it was the light. Maybe it was the green paper making me think it was green. I would have never thought that there was such a thing as pickle cupcakes. I've never heard of it until yesterday. But yeah, that's my pickle cupcakes. And they're surprisingly yummy. And they were really easy to make. Yeah, just simple ingredients, nothing crazy. The hardest one for me to obtain was the bourbon, and that's because the first liquor store I went to wasn't open for some reason. And I had to go to another one. But that was it. I mean, that was the only hard part. And you make them from scratch. So you can tell everyone that you made these from scratch. And you know, you saw the steps. There's nothing really hard about it. If you have an electric mixer, you're going to be done in no time, which is what I did. So yeah, that is my video about pickle cupcakes. Very interesting. I would definitely give it a try. I'm going to put the recipe that I used in the description. I'll put a link to it if you want to give it a try for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed getting to see these pretty little cupcakes come into being. I thought they were wonderful. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. And I will see you again really soon.